If you're catching this, you're catching the replay. Welcome. I have not been live in quite some time. So I have been super busy this summer with camps with my kids and running a day camp and things like that. So it's really good to be back in my studio. So I am just pulling this video up really quick and share it to a couple of places so that I can get started. So Cozy Up is the digital collection for August, and this collection features a variety of images that are fall based. So one of the things that I want to do is I want to show you how to use this collection. So I have 3 layouts. They're all the same, some different colors to them and some different titles to them to create a different ambiance for each of the different styles that you can use it with. So it doesn't necessarily have to be fall or what have you. Okay. So it's just taking me a minute. I haven't done this in a really long time. That now I'm like, oh my gosh, how do I share my video to my friends over at LFT? Hello. So one of the really nice things that I like about this collection is it pairs nicely with the cozy paper that they have out, the collection that Close to My Heart has out, all of those groovy things. So the digital collection is something that's really unique, as it is a SVG collection that Close to My Heart has created with their design team. And it is set up to be downloaded to your computer and then uploaded each image to your chosen cutting apparatus. So for example, I use a Cricut. You would upload the images, the SVG files there after downloading them to your computer, and that would give you the ability to resize them, make them the same, different, things like that. So I really like that. I'm stuttering and I don't know why. I think because it's just been so long since I've really gone live, and my kids are being really quiet right now, and I'm kind of nervous, like, you know, waiting for the shoe to drop, so to speak. So I have all the pieces pre-cut. I did this earlier in the day, and what I'm doing right now is I'm sorting it out. So when you have your pieces, you're going to have 2 of everything, and then if you have a single, that's going to go for the left side of your page, and 2 of everything is going to go to the right side of your page. And so that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm just sort of sorting these out. So if I only have a single, I know that goes to the left side, and then the doubles go to this right side. Blah. Okay. So in Cricut, you have the functionality to cut all the base pages. I chose not to do that. I just cut my own pieces. Like this is 12 by 12, so you're probably not going to be able to cut that anyways. And then this is just a quarter shorter than that, so that you're cutting it at 11 3/4 by 11 3/4. So you're just taking like a quarter off of each, or maybe a 1/4 off of each end, or 2 sides, if you will. So the main concept comes with Welcome Autumn. And I thought that was really, really, really cute. Let me spell this right. Welcome Autumn is the title for this. And what I did is when I cut this out, I cut it out 3 times. So I stacked all of my pieces together so that my title really stands up and it pops. I really like how it gives it somewhat of a chipboard feel. So that's why I did that. So this calls for 2 4x6 photos and 2 3x4 photos. So if you're cutting this, it will cut some photo mats for you, which are 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 or 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So if you want to save some paper, you cannot have your apparatus cut that, and instead you can go ahead and cut your 12 by 12 in half at 6, and then flip those so that you cut it at 8 and 4, and then that will give you 6 pieces of 4 by 6, and then you will just trim your photos to fit. And that's what I've done, just to sort of save some paper. So the idea of the layout is you'll have one section of photos here with some foliage at the top and some foliage at the bottom, and then you will have a 4 by 6 over here and a 3 by 4 over on the left side, and this is where your title is going to go. And then they also cut out a little banner, which I opted out to. Actually, I forgot to cut the banner out, and they have some journaling pieces right here, but I opted not to cut those out either, just because I knew that my base page was going to be white, and I could write right on there if I wanted to do my journaling there. So I just want to go through this. So when you put these together, one of the things that I like to do is I find the center, and we're going to start with the right page first. So I'm going to put this one off to the side, and you're going to have 2 sets of foliage. I'm going to sort of center this piece right here. You want to save some, even if you would like to save more paper and you want to use it, you can also cut out the guts of this piece right here. So just cut out a 10 by 10 or 11 by 11, and then you can reuse that for photo mats or whatever else you might be working on later. So I'm going to center this white daisy right in here. I'm going to come in with some adhesive and put it down. And then if you have a Versa mat like I do, you can use that as a really nice guide. You can use your T-ruler. I like to eyeball it, and I know that doesn't work for a lot of folks. A lot of folks don't like to. They want to have preciseness, but at the end of the day, I don't really think that my kids are going to say, I can't keep Mom's scrapbook that she made of all of our memories because this page is off by a hair. And if it is, maybe they'll just get in the habit of taking up scrapbooking and they'll redo it themselves, right? If we could only wish. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to center this as best as my eye says that it looks good to me. I'm just going to come in with a light pencil mark and sort of just lightly draw at the top and the bottom. This is going to be covered with your foliage, but it gives me a nice line on where I'm going to place everything. So I'm going to start with the 2 big pieces first. So I'm going to start here, and I'm just going to sort of pay attention to where my end mark is. I'm going to bring it in a little and put it where I think it looks good. And then I'm going to start with the other maple leaf, the feathered looking leaf out this way. And I'm just going to sort of build myself in using that as a guide. And I'm going to do a dry run first because I really like to make sure that I like the placement, and then I can just pick the pieces up as I go to see where I like them. So they start with the browns, and the browns come in and they morph into oranges, yellows, reds, and then back into like a pinkish color, if you will. And again, this is your creation, so if you don't like the way that they have structured those, don't worry about it. You can totally restructure the layout however you need to so that it fits what you want, what works for you. And I want to show you some techniques with these that you can use with a stylus to sort of bring a little bit of texture and life to them. And I think it really helps. Let's see, I think they come in with the red next, in here like so. This comes in like this, and then this lays on top. So what you're really going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to repeat it up here, only you're going to flip your color scheme. So you're going to do brown, yellow, orange, red, pink. And then, like I said, it was just a lot easier for me to have 2 starting points. Oops, sorry. This one's going to go over here. And of course you can turn them however you want if you want that to come in. And then this one, this dark brown espresso, I think is what I used up here, is going to go there. And you're just going to work yourself out. And again, if you like a placement better, remember this is your layout and you're the one that has to look at it. So if it doesn't look just like the picture in the catalog, or it doesn't look just like the Pinterest board, or what have you, give yourself some grace, because doing your best is really all that sort of matters at this point, right? All you're trying to do is capture your memories and do it in a beautiful way. So if by chance it looks a little bit different than what you had envisioned, trust the process and keep going. Oh my gosh, it feels so good to be back doing some videos and things of that nature. It really does. All right, and then this will kind of go like this. Then you'll be able to come in with your pieces here and just sort of dry run to make sure that it's exactly where you want them to be. And this is a great opportunity to sort of scooch them in if you want to. And so when you're just sort of playing with this, it's a little more forgiving, where you can sort of tuck in. And so this is what the right side of your layout's going to look like. You're going to have your 4x6 photo here and your 4x3 photo right there. So this is going to be the right side of the page. So let's go in and let's assemble, dry assemble the left side. So the left side has where the cute title is, and again I cut this 3 times, so each one of these letters was cut 3 times, and stacked them. And I used this zig to adhere them together. I find that it works just fine, and I believe I got it at a crop last summer, so yes, I'm going to use it. Any journaling that you would have is going to go right here. You're going to have about 1/4 of an inch of spacing between your 4x6 and your picture here. And I just want to kind of bring this one in for reference and make sure that these look good where they are in comparison to where this is. So we're going to build a little cascading foliage right here around this picture right here. I'm good with this placement here. So I'm going to gently take that off to the side again. And then before we get too far started, I'm going to go ahead and adhere down my white daisy to my base page. If you haven't already, make sure that you are getting all of the lovely things that you've been waiting to get from the core catalog now, because it does expire at the end of the month when the new core catalog then goes for the entire year. They're both live right now, but getting those extra supplies, they're going to be restructuring the core catalog, which is the main catalog that lasts all year, and that one will be lasting an entire year, but it's not going to have as many stamps in there or thin cuts. It'll have some of your more basic supplies, the things, your everyday items that you use continuously. So that would be your go-to when you're out of something that you use frequently. Then the new bi-weekly catalogs, not bi-weekly, bi-monthly catalogs are amazing. They are going, and so instead of doing 3 months, they'll come out every 2 months, which we've done that in the past, and that seemed to work really well. We did try going back to a 3-month, and it just proved that we had some better success with having a 2-month cycle. So that's why we're going to go back to that, which I understand, and I think that's amazing. It keeps things fresh. So look for those. The new one comes out in September, so it'll be September and October, November and December, so on and so forth. That's how the catalogs will go. Okay, so I have here some super cute little foliage that we're going to build around here to create a frame. And in here, and I just followed the colors that they had. I think if I'd have been paying just a little bit more closer attention, I would have went with some more tan hues for these mushrooms versus the yellow. It does work, but I already had them all cut out. And I'm just using my stylus here to like poke out these last couple of spots on the mushroom tops. But I would have definitely liked maybe a better grayscale for the mushrooms. So I'm just going to adhere these together. This is how I did it. And I have 2 other pages that I have done that I want to show you just so that you can see the difference on how, you know, one I did for my daughter who was doing a library challenge, and the other one I did of my husband and I, just kind of documenting our 20 odd years knowing each other and together. And I used all the titles that I used are from this Cozy Up digital collection. So I'm excited to show you those things here momentarily. So I just put a little bit of that adhesive on here. And I kind of like this. It's a little forgiving if you... And then it comes with another little piece to sort of give it some dimension there. And this is a big enough piece that I will just toss on some dry adhesive here. So I want to show you how to sort of bring to life your foliage here with a stylus. I have a set that has 3 different sizes on them, and I'm not a pro at using the stylus, but I will say that there's different sizes for different reasons. I just tend to pick one that will give me what I need. This does have a topper on it. Did I cut it out? Absolutely. Did I lose it all 3 times? I absolutely did. So we're just going to give the acorn its topper with one of our tri-blend markers. Okay, so I have here, I'm going to grab this little tool over here because I really, I'm just going to grab this little, this is from a stamp set, that's all it is. So I have my stylus, I'm just using the medium ball. Like you can see that there's a smaller one here and there's a teeny tiny one here, and it's all different sizes, and then I have a much larger one. So I'm going to use like this medium right here, and I'm just eyeballing it. I'm not a naturalist, so I can't tell you where all the veins are in a leaf, but I'm just using this cushion here to give my leaves just some veins on here, and it really makes a huge difference on the texture. So let me hope that you guys can sort of see the veins in here. Oh, a little bit. There you go. So I really like how that does it. It makes it sort of pop up a little bit and gives it a little bit of a 3D. So I did that on my first layout. And so then you just gently run it through and just put the veins in as you deem necessary. I don't think, like I said, that you're going to have a naturalist or anyone coming around checking the veins on your leaves. And then what I did was I took the centerpiece and I sort of used that main vein as a score line and just sort of scored that up. So then I have this little realistic leaf going down. Maybe this isn't new, maybe you've done this before or something of that nature, but it's a nice little refresher, and I do think that it adds a little bit of character to our projects. That's something super simple. It's not anything extra that you need to cut out, so I just like that. Any stylus will do. It doesn't have to be top of the line, just whatever fits your hands well. And however you feel that it needs. More pressure is fine, less pressure, just it's the definition that you're looking for. So the harder that you push, the more definition you're going to have, obviously. So that's what I did with all those. So right here, we're going to just build out our foliage frame, I guess you will call it. That's how they have it set up. And we're going to build that out. This is, again, not hard, and it's your cup of tea, like how you want this to look for you. So we're going to start and just layer how things will look and move them around so that they fit nicely. So when you do this, just keep in mind this will pop up a little bit, so you could add some 3D foam or something of that nature to make it flush if that's more of something that you're looking for. And so they sort of do the same thing that we did on the right side. We're going to stay with some color families, and we're just going to come in and pop these in. Just tucking that in there. And put this piece here. Bring this one down. Tuck those pieces up there, and that one in there. Then we're going to come in with our mushrooms. So once you like that, you're going to adhere everything down. So if you kind of want to move something around, you can. Your mushrooms are going to come like here. Now, and they're going to sort of build on top of each other. And then you'll finish it off with a little acorn here. And so you could probably move things up. This is really important on why I like doing the dry run on here. I have an opportunity to see where all of my placement is if I want to pull something out and sort of even out what I'm working with here. So this is the left side. You adhere everything down. You have your 4x6 photo here. And if you're just catching in, just remember that this is, I cut these to be 4x6 and 3x4, and I'll cut my picture smaller. And this is part of the Cozy Up digital art collection. And so I really love it. So let me show you what I did to kind of change it for my photos and how I really wanted it to change and not be so just fall-like. So I'm going to put this off to the side. So my husband and I are celebrating 12 years together. And I took one of the titles that was in the collection and I resized it. I ungrouped it and resized it. It says, "Let's get cozy." And then I used the stamp from the Cozy Up scrapbooking set. My weekend is booked. I used that in place of where they put their journaling. And then for the other picture, I put a little notation about how we've been together for, or we've known each other for 20 years and we've got 4 kids and yada, yada, yada. I still want to be cozy with you. I still was able to pull in these foliage, and even though it's fall, I thought it worked really well with some of the colors within our pictures. And I thought it captured, being cozy. And then the other one that I am working on, and I didn't get a chance to finish because I was working my other job today, is my daughter with her reading challenge at the library. This is another title that is included in this collection. So you can see I still need to put my leaves and foliage down. But she did a reading challenge, and the title I thought was really appropriate for this. It says, "On to the next chapter." So she did all of her things that she needed, and she got her water bottle over the summer and some other tokens that they get for every 5 hours that they read. So I really thought that this was an awesome way that in the fall they finished the reading program, just to kind of tie all of those things together. So this was a really fun layout to do. I really like that it's the same layout, but I was able to capture 3 different variations of that layout. And then as you can see on this one, I added just a little bit of doodling around the edge, and I could go back and add things as necessary. So here are all the 3 layouts with the titles. See if we can get them all in just so that you can see how they vary. So we have something that's on to the next chapter for the reading program. We have a very intimate, let's get cozy, and then we have our traditional welcome autumn, which we'll add in with some of our fall pictures that we are yet to develop. So thank you guys for joining in. I hope you got some really good ideas from this. I hope this inspired you to grab your own Cozy Up collection from Close to My Heart that's featured this month. And if you have any questions or you want me to go over anything, let me know. I'd be more than happy to. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next Monday. I have some more from this digital art collection I want to show you with some cards. Have a great night, everyone. Bye.